You might be wondering, the talk of tribalism. So, were the Balaalo only evicted from Acholi land? Why were other parts not called tribal? Balaalo evictions and chases across Africa. The first one is Ongongoja in Katakwi district in Iteso. The outcome was residents issued a 3-day eviction ultimatum, impounded cattle, and forced the Balaalo to relocate to Katakwi headquarters, eventually dispersing to neighboring districts. Why were the Balaalo not called? Where were the Iteso not called practicing tribalism? The second people were Bongi district in West Nile in Uganda. Balaalo were ordered to leave within 90 days. The clan refunded their payment to ensure eviction by mid-February 2025. The third one is still in West Nile sub-region in Uganda. In November 2021 and March 2022, security forces phased out Balaalo under conditional government directives. Now, is that one still also tribalism? In June 2025, a structured, peaceful harmony eviction began to remove unregulated others, while verifying legal land purchasers, still in West Nile. Now, the fourth one is in Banyoro, in Masindi district of Uganda. National Forestry Authority collaborated with local security, issuing ultimata requiring Balaalo to vacate by Easter. Most were removed with Bolingira eviction in 2010, setting the precedent. Why were they not called practicing tribalism in Banyoro? The fifth one is Kalangala district, Lake Victoria Island in Uganda. Authorities ordered them to vacate by January 30, 2024, citing destruction of plantation crops and environmental threat. Now, why were the people of Kalangala not called tribal? Let's look at the patterns and insight. Recurring evictions. Balaalo have repeatedly faced pushback for encroaching on forest reserves, communal land, and commercial plantations throughout northern and eastern Uganda. Government strategy. Evictions were conducted both through authoritative enforcement, that's military, police operations, and structured directives. Executive orders coupled with verification for lawful land titles. Community pretext. There have been complaints often centered on crop destruction, resource depletion, and illegal land occupation, frequently tied to land use misalignment between nomadic pastoralism and settled farming. Implications that we could see for the Acholi land context, which the people, Andrew Mendes is now calling Acholi practicing tribalism. These repeated Balaalo evictions across multiple Ugandan sub-regions demonstrate that land conflicts with pastoralists have extended beyond Acholi, forming a broader national challenge. The Acholi situation is part of a larger pattern, not just tribalism. Balaalo settlements provoke tension wherever agriculture or forest conservation exists. State-backed evictions reflects a recognition of widespread land dispute issues, of which the state should not only love the tribe where they come from, and that's why Museveni is very right. Collective memory of incidents like Banyoro in 2010 and Kalangala provides precedent and possible policy frameworks applicable to the Acholi, where the land is also said to be fraudulently got. Now, this is my final thoughts on this issue. The eviction of Balaalo in Acholi aligns with a persistent national trend. Unregulated pastoral expansion into sensitive lands sparks conflict, fueling both local resistance and governmental intervention. Acholi's land growth fears are thus not isolated, not tribalism, but rather part of a regional conflict continuum involving land tenures, resources, rivalry, and ecological balance. Why didn't Andrew Mwenda and the rest of other Balaalo say tribalism when the Balaalo were being evicted from other parts of the countries, and these were just a few?